This year is the year of detransitioning. We're seeing it every day in popular TikTokers. This person thinks that trans people are transitioning every single day. But am I detransitioning? Well, kinda. Let's talk about it. I made a video recently speaking about how my gender identity has changed. I've been identifying as a trans woman for the past 10 years, but that just is not the case anymore. That video got a lot of attention. Most of it was positive, but there were a few troll hate comments that we're gonna reply to and play with today. And there were also some legitimate questions that I wanna reply to. And I just wanna get some things off my chest and update you guys when it comes to my gender identity. So let's start from the beginning, a little backstory. I started my transition when I was 18. I was on hormones. I was presenting very feminine to the world. I was dating men. I got surgeries. I was your typical trans girl, your typical doll, living life. But to be honest, something never felt quite right. I could never fully identify with womanhood and femininity like I would see other trans women do. I definitely felt like I had gender dysphoria and body dysphoria because I definitely wanted to change my body to feel better on the inside. I find that for many years I presented very feminine to the world because, well, there are some certain stereotypes and expectations when you're a trans woman. I'm sure if you're trans you can relate to this, but the world expects you to be extremely feminine to treat you as a normal human being. Otherwise you're treated like, I don't know, a freak. So I feel like in a sense, I tried to overcompensate in order to live a more normal life. The last year, I had a conversation with myself. I said, stop, wait a minute. You don't feel happy this way. This is not who you really are. You don't feel the same way like these other trans women feel. I came to this realization after many conversations with other trans women, comparing how I felt and how they felt. I realized that I'm not a trans woman. I am a trans person who is gender fluid. You can call it gender fluid, gender non-conforming, even non-binary. I think all these terms are quite similar, to be honest. I don't really care for labels, to be honest. I just feel like me, but this world demands labels from us sometimes. So I feel like gender fluid is the one that describes how I feel the most. When somebody calls me a man, I don't feel bad. It doesn't take anything away from me because I know what I was born as and I know how I feel right now. Sometimes if I'm dressed up in a masculine way, I really enjoy when people call me like handsome. When people call me a woman, I know they have the best intention and they're just trying to uplift me and support me, but I don't resonate with that word. It just doesn't resonate with me 100%, and neither does 100% being a man. Right, so this is a little backstory. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to answer them. And now let's go reply to some comments from my gender update video. It is a bit late for that, isn't it? We told you you'd regret it. Well, first of all, I don't regret anything. I'm very happy with my transition, and I definitely had gender dysphoria and body dysphoria. I wanted to change my body to a more feminine appearance, not only physically but also mentally. It has taught me so many things and it has made me grow tremendously as a person. It's just that now I choose to identify and present myself to the world a bit differently. That doesn't cancel my transition and I don't regret it at all. I'm genuinely curious. Why go through this whole transition and then be like, oh, I'm gender fluid? I'm not trying to be rude. I genuinely want to be educated. Well, it's a combination of things. As I said, I knew I wanted to transition physically. At the time, presenting super feminine to the world felt right and correct. Right now, it doesn't feel right anymore. For me, it has taken many years and many discussions with myself to realize that, oh no, you're not a trans woman, you're actually gender fluid. So it's not a thing that I knew at the beginning of my transition, it's something that I realized along the way. Transitioning has tremendously improved my mental health, and I was able to completely get rid of my gender dysphoria through transitioning. So yeah, you could just say that my feelings and my self-identity has just evolved over the years. I guess the plain dress up with all the hair colors boring now. Nope, it's not boring at all. I'm still gonna keep wearing wigs. I'm still gonna keep wearing my makeup, dresses. Sometimes I wanna dress feminine. Sometimes I wanna dress masculine. It changes nothing. Men can wear makeup and wigs. Women can wear makeup and wigs. These things are just how we dress. It's just a costume. For me, because I feel gender fluid, sometimes I wanna dress more masculine and sometimes I want to dress more feminine. So gender is not a journey, it's what you're born with. I'm the only one who knows my gender, and I know it's real and I know it's a journey because I have experienced that journey. This is really interesting and I really wanted to reply to it. So you were never trans. So just because I identify as gender fluid, does that cancel my whole 10 years of transition? No, it doesn't. It doesn't cancel my experiences. It doesn't cancel my surgeries, the hormones that I took, all the things I learned throughout my transition. All things are not automatically thrown in the bin just because now I don't identify 100% as a trans woman. I just don't fit 100% in the binary that I would say probably like 95% of trans people do. Most trans people want to go from one to the other. I want to transition from here to in between the little road, if that makes sense. Or did you just run out of cloud? Oh yes, my favorite thing to do is spend thousands of my hard-earned money, go through excruciating pain through surgeries, lose many people from my life because of homophobia and transphobia. Yes, I did all of this because of cloud. Most people transition because we feel like we have to in order to be happy and in order to live productive and fulfilled lives. Your generation is absolutely insane. You were born a man. No matter how you change yourself, it never changes, okay? Okay, I was born a man, so what? Most 99% of trans people know what they're born as. How I'm born and my gender identity is a completely different thing. Honestly, sometimes I feel like the crazy people are those who refuse to see the truth and the world changing in front of them and being stuck in the past. Yeah, I think that's the crazy person in my opinion. So, with all that said, I transitioning. Well, technically, I'm not detransitioning in the classical sense where I'm not gonna remove all my surgery and go back to being a guy. I am entering a different stage of my transition. I am being more authentic and more truthful to myself and how I really feel. I'm not letting society's expectation tell me how to be a trans person. I have realized that I don't identify with the term trans woman. I never identified with manhood and being a man anyway. So I feel like I fall somewhere in between, and that's why I have chosen the label gender fluid. I don't really care about labels, you know, I'm just being myself, but people like to label things. So this is the one that I feel like suits how I feel the most. And something that I really want to talk about that I forgot to is that a comment a lot of people have left me on my videos is that, well, women can be masculine. Women can present in a more masculine way. You don't have to be hyper feminine all the time. But for me, as I said, I don't identify with the word woman. Like when I dress in a more masculine way or when I act in a more masculine way, I don't do it in a way that a woman does it. It's difficult to explain. All these things, it's difficult to explain that to someone who has never questioned their gender identity. But if you have, I'm sure you can understand where I'm coming from. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to make another video and I'll see you later. Bye.